We had an amazing year traveling around the world, but we saved the best for last. Jeffreys Bay, South Africa is, by a unanimous vote, our family's favorite. For a family of surfers, the consistent and easily accessible surf and the long rides we got are unbeatable, even by Swami's or Micronesia standards. The people here are so friendly, always giving us pointers to fun activities or restaurants. Restaurants have great varieties of food to offer, all cooked to perfection and very cheap by US standards. Jeffreys Bay is on the beautiful Garden Route. Therefore, the natural landscape is astoundingly beautiful. We will cover more of these in future episodes. As a tourist from the US with strong exchange rates, we are enjoying the best of South Africa. We are staying at a villa with ocean view and a 5-minute walk to our favorite surf spot. Right down the road, within a 10-minute walk, we can get to a modern grocery store and pharmacy that are well stocked like any US stores. Looking around the neighborhood where we are staying, it felt like a quiet surf town in Southern California, but with way less crowd. But life isn't all paradise for the residents and business owners here. The first thing we noticed is that the roads are not well maintained. The potholes here are almost as bad as on Cosrai. People were driving onto the sidewalks to avoid hitting the potholes that would likely take out their front wheels. Secondly, we noticed that there are private security signs everywhere. So I guess that security is an issue that the government had not yet adequately addressed. Indeed. We witnessed a man getting hit on the head and pushed out of his car in broad daylight. When we tried to flag down a police car, it never stopped. Another local who stopped to help us said that the police doesn't do much here, and she called a private security company who showed up right away. But the biggest difficulty here is load shedding. Since 2007, South Africa has experienced energy shortages due to insufficient production with respect to increased demand. The past 5 years, according to the residents, have gotten really bad. We downloaded an app to track when the electricity would be out, and for most days, it would be out intermittently for 9 to 10 hours. During those hours, the business owners would have to run generators to keep the fridges cold or lights on. As tourists, we could easily adjust our priorities, but imagine being in school or offices when lights would go out for hours. Even these difficulties are still nothing in comparison to those faced by the majority of population of Jeffreys Bay, the non-whites. When we drove past the village town centers where one can shop at O'Neill's, Rip Curl's, Roxy's, or Billabong shops, within 2 minutes, the fancy villas are replaced with simple brick houses. In another minute or two, paved roads became dirt roads, and bricked houses became densely packed shanty houses made of sheets of corrugated metal. This is where the majority of black residents live. Through a Southern Californian photographer we met at our surf spot, Thomas DeSoto, we got introduced to Miss Vidalia and her lady friends who ran a soup kitchen that fed hungry children and adults every Tuesday and Thursday. These ladies work all day to feed 150 people at a time, and they barely have enough to take care of their own families. The children who show up often have no shoes, and some seem barely old enough to talk. They carried a little Tupperware for the soup, but they don't eat it there, no matter how hungry they are. They always bring them home for their family. We were so moved by the dedication of the ladies. Often, it is those who have little that are the most generous. We decided to help by taking Miss Vidalia to buy food she needs every week while we are here. For $100 a week, she could feed all those people twice and still have non-perishables stored for when we leave. She manages her budget well because she puts in all the work by making the food from scratch to save money. She even taught us how to make the traditional South African fat cakes. It's pretty much donuts without sugary glaze, but it's delicious and so much fun to make. Miss Fidelia really loves her community. She told us that she suffered a great personal loss recently, but through cooking for her community, she finds relief from that pain. She also told us the many challenges her community faces, such as severe shortages of teachers, jobs, and medical services. We volunteered at an event where her group gave the youth free haircuts or hair washes, and we saw firsthand how much good she and her friends do. However, my mom didn't do a very good job cutting hair. Her 3 clients were all too young to protest, and the clipper was soon taken over by more able hands. This 13-year-old boy was shaving the children's head with a single razor blade. Never, ever in the U.S. The children are polite and helpful. As soon as they saw we were doing dishes, many came to help. They're also friendly and inclusive. When waiting for food, we were taught their games and included in the play. Whatever little they had, they wanted to share with us, such as a toy or an icy. We couldn't help but want to be more involved, so we made bologna sandwiches and apple slices for the children so they can have a healthy snack before taking soup home. And we hope to do more in the coming weeks.